Hey everyone, it's Marcia with GratitudeSpeak, excuse me. And we are talking about business lessons we can learn from yesterday's Super Bowl. Excuse me. Now, let me let me give a qualifier to this whole live stream right now. I am not a football fan. I don't really care for the game. I don't understand it. I understand it is one of the biggest events of the year, meaning the Super Bowl. Lots of money is made or lost on it, both in advertising dollars and in private pools. And there's all kinds of great revelry going on with everybody with the Super Bowl food and the halftime show and the ad spin to see who's marketing and advertising companies did the best job. And it's just a whole culture here in our country, which is all well and fine and good, but it's never held a real appeal to me. However, that being said, when you are in business and a coach like I am, you look for inspiration and content and things, lessons to share with people just like this, because it is all around you every day. Now, I've already told him that I'm shamelessly taking his subject matter. So Dane Gingrich, if you are on here, I will probably tag you with this later, but I am totally taking what you shared, or at least part of what you shared earlier today, because I think it has value and merit, and I would love to explain it to some people. Look, I don't care which team you were rooting for. That's not the point. There are lessons from both teams that we can learn from this and apply to our businesses and even to our lives, because how we show up in life usually is indicative of how we show up in our business. If we're fairly calm natured in life, then we can make methodical, calm decisions. Hey, good to see you. Thank you. Congratulations, by the way, Regina. And if we are more inclined to panic and seize up and get, work really difficult under pressure, then that's going to show up in how we make business decisions. Now, I'm kind of an anomaly. I try to think things out because I have a few control issues. But on the other hand, if I'm pressured, as a business owner, I have to learn to make decisions quickly and stick by them. So I will try to, in the moment, get as much information, go as intuitively, trust your gut kind of thing, as I can. But um, in either way, if you look for lessons all around you, they are there. So let me just stop before we get into the meat. For those who are not familiar with me, if this is your first time listening in to my channel, I want to say welcome. Thank you for joining. I am Marcia Whyte. I am the founder and chief content officer for GratitudeSpeak, which is a life and business coaching practice that I run. And I help you in two different ways. On the life coaching side, I really help you work through your pain into your purpose. I call it from loss to your leadership and through grief to your greatness. And your loss can be anything. It can be obviously the death of someone very close to you, friend, family member, loved one. It can be a painful divorce or breakup. It can be the downsizing from a job that you thought maybe you would retire in, or even the promotion you were passed over for. Those are things that can inner challenge you for your confidence and your competence. And so I can help you with that. On the business coaching side, I am dealing from the aspect of reducing your client attrition and increasing your client retention, referrals, reviews, and revenue. So if either of those things are issues that you're struggling with or would just like to flesh out a bit and you think I might be able to support you, on the link for the you can book me in the title, please click on that and schedule a complimentary discovery call, and we will see. And I'm fair enough and grown enough to say I can't help you, or yes, this is what it looks like to work with me. So now getting back to our lesson, my friend, Coach Dane Gingrich, hey buddy, thanks for this. talks about the two lessons or the two comparison mindsets that we're talking about today, primarily as what we learned from yesterday's football game, which I'm going to say I did not watch, right? But there was so much, sometimes you don't even have to actively engage. You can read all of the comments on social media. I didn't even have my TV on. In fact, I was at my office yesterday, didn't leave until late yesterday evening. That's a whole nother issue. There's two mindsets that went on in that game. From what I understand, one team, I believe it was Atlanta, had a good, significant first half, all right? And I have a very basic understanding of the game. But I'm sports minded enough to know that you cannot ever tell the outcome of a game. There's no reason to get excited and start selling, as we used to call it, wolf tickets about anything in the first half, because it is in the last few minutes, sometimes even seconds of the game, that it is won or lost. And not just a physical victory or loss. Most games, especially professional games, whether it's professional business games, professional sports games, or any other kind of orchestrative moves, are made and lost, won or lost right here between, you know, our temples. It's a mindset thing. And so he goes on to share with us there is a pressure mindset and an opportunity mindset. And I contend that whatever we are facing in business and even in life, we have we have to decide which way we're leaning, because there really is no middle ground as far as I can see. Now, you may disagree with me, and that's your choice, but hear me out before you pass the final judgment, or as they used to say, before you give your final answer, all right? The pressure mindset, and I'm going to read this from Dane's page, it tightens muscles and it hinders decision-making and focus levels. Sometimes you can get too cocky, too sure of yourself, too set that, oh, I've got this, don't worry about it, no issues here. We've got this on lock. You hear this a lot. People come in, there's nothing wrong with being confident. Okay, that's a big plus in business. However, you have to have some things to back it up, which is a long-term plan, a long-term goal. Now, both teams obviously go into a big game like this with the mindset of, we want to win. You have to visualize that championship. In business, you have to visualize the deal, the message, the speech, the partnership, whatever the goal is. You have to be able to see it and claim it and walk in that space mentally and emotionally as well as physically. But we all know that life and business, just like professional sports, particularly football, because it is such a hard contact sport, takes a toll in so many ways. My son played high school football. I tried to support him. I mean, I was there during the games. I prayed every time he went out on the field. He was a receiver. Um, so he had the, as I call it, the pretty boy position. And a lot of glory goes to that. But you know, we always had to have the talk at the end of the game, win or lose, that he was still part of the team. And whether your team is you and your partners, you and your administrative people, or whoever it is that supports you, you all have to be on the same page and play like a team. And so when you hit under pressure, there's one or two people that you can relate to. You can bounce something off the wall to. It could be a coach, it could be a mentor, it could be your business partner, it could be your advisor. It could even be God through prayer for those who practice Christianity as I do. There is no right or wrong way. But the thing is, when you're faced with immense, intense pressure, and I can't imagine that kind of competition, because it is a world stage that, even though it's an American game, I mean, everybody knows about the Super Bowl, okay? you have to have a mindset to work your plan your work and work your plan. All right. And you can't give in to the pressure that you start to make so many mistakes because you're bound up and you're so focused that everything becomes monumental. From what I understand about yesterday, there were some very preventable decisions made, some moves made. Look, I'm not arguing about who should have or should not have won. We take the outcomes and we learn from them. You can bet your bottom dollar that at some point, both teams will be looking at the replays. There's probably a gazillion and 33 households right now that have DVR'd the game or recorded it and are playing it back for their favorite parts. You can go on social media, YouTube and all the others, and watch the games. And you will see where one team bowed to the pressure. The other team, who everybody I think was under the impression, and again, I don't have a dog in that hunt because football is not my jam, but the other team went in or entered the second half as kind of like the underdog. And I don't want to get into all of the ridicule and the sometimes meanness that we can put on people, but they saw it as an opportunity to prove their critics wrong, to push through, even though they lacked a lot of support. Now, I have a lot of friends in the Atlanta area. I don't live far from Atlanta, and they were all over my feed yesterday. I have some that are fans of New England. Again, I don't really care. I didn't try to do a Super Bowl party, but I do admire the fact that whatever went on in those respective locker rooms, one team clearly bought into the opportunity mindset, as Dane defines it. He says that mindset creates freedom, mental clarity, and the ability to search calmly for solutions. Now, you can agree with it in theory, but you have to understand in practice, it worked. I know that one team has never been there before. The other team has had some experience with winning. But the bottom line is it comes down for you and I with how we view the long-term goal. The long-term goal for them was, or big picture goal, and long-term doesn't mean you have to project out months and months and years. The long-term goal is the end of the game. So it's closing that deal. It's getting that contract signed. It's onboarding that client. It's creating the customer experience. It's making sure that your materials are top notch. It's making sure that they're disseminated in a timely manner. It is the whole 9 yards. If you're planning some kind of event, making sure from registration or pre-registration all the way through the closing session and the follow-up that actually ends through evaluations and then the subsequent emails, all of that is taken into account. And very much it's a team effort. I don't care if your team is 2 people or 200 people. Doesn't matter. The whole mindset issue is the choice to yield to pressure or come from a place of seeing opportunities. And there's good and bad in both. I'm not knocking one or over the other. I think that pressure decisions make us more mindful, make us realize in reflection there's a different way to do it so we don't repeat that kind of thing, so we don't continue to operate within that zone of pressure. But the opportunity mindset probably will serve you much better. But you have to earn your stripes. You have to learn as you go. The bottom line is you have a choice to make. We all do, each and every day. I have just the same struggles as you. I look for clients. I give of myself, sometimes seemingly with nothing coming back to me in return. But I choose to look at it, and I've buckled plenty of times to the pressure mindset. The point is, I always come back and say, okay, where's the teachable moment? Where's the opportunity? And how can I capitalize on that? How can I make this better? Not just for me, but for those who are dependent on me, the people like you that I serve, that I show up to bring value to every day, the people like you who will refer to me, who will become my clients, who will click on the link and schedule a discovery call. I see everything as an opportunity. And I'm just setting out there. When you think of the next time you're planning your strategy and executing your tactics, please, ma'am, please, sir, consider that when you're in the big game, when you're fighting for the big deal, when you're putting out your big plans, have the end in mind and decide if you're going to play from the vantage point of a pressure mindset or from an opportunity mindset. Now, speaking of opportunities, I've already offered you one, which is to hit the book me link and schedule a time to talk with me about how I might support you in your business or in a place in life where you'd like to get back to greater productivity and more revenue. But tonight, there's an opportunity for you to be with me on air at the bit.ly link, my radio show. It's a weekly business broadcast geared specifically for entrepreneurs and small business owners. And for those, this is a special broadcast tonight because the young woman I'm interviewing is Alexandra Ramirez, and she is a sales funnel specialist. So if you are talking about digital products and opt-ins and lead pages and the whole process, please tune in tonight at 9 p.m. or you can go to Praise Orlando Global Ministries Facebook page, and we have begun streaming from there. So there is a myriad of opportunities, all right, available to you. It's a great resource, doesn't cost you but a few minutes of time. So for personal support from me, please click on the Book Me link. And for the opportunities of free resources, as a small business owner or entrepreneur, hit the bit.ly link at 9 p.m. and we will see you there. As always, I wish you much, success and blessings in your business and your life. And remember, there is always opportunity and a reason to give kindness and to show gratitude. So make it your mission today to do just that. Thanks for watching, and we will see you on the next broadcast. Bye.